All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and truth and sincerity. Shalom to the whole elect, beginning with 144,000. Shalom. Lord willing, this be a quick lesson, edifying and straight to the point, right? And I'm going to title this lesson, Prioritizing for a Greater Reward, right? And before we get in any, further, let's get the definition of prioritize, right? So this is AI overview, right? And it reads, prioritize means to arrange tasks, goals, or items in order of importance or urgency, ensuring the most critical items are addressed first. It involves ranking activities to maximize efficiency. And so, like, if I, ain't pronounce that right, the best way to pronounce some words, they say focusing on what matters most and sometimes delaying or ignoring lower priority items, right? And I'm just reread that second half again. It said it involves ranking activities to maximize efficiency, focusing on what matters most, man. And what matters most, right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, right? Doing the works, praying, all the things that come with it, right? To do what? Ultimately to show the Lord that you love him, right? And also to abide in his love, right? And how do you show the Lord that you love him? By following the law's commandments, right? By feeding his lamb, by feeding his sheep, right? So if you're not doing these things, ultimately you don't love Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, right? And you have to put off the fun, right? The fun, or seeing people, whatever the case may be, to do the works, right? You might have had something set up, for a Friday or Saturday, but then you may have to cancel it. Say for instance a family reunion, right? You got it on Friday, at 6 o'clock, but you be having camp at Friday at 7 o'clock, right? And you got to miss that family reunion to make count, right? Because why? What's more important, right? This family reunion or Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, right? Doing the works, right? That's why, like, the title goes at hand, prioritizing for a greater reward, right? And these part of the things, like you say, focusing on what matters most and sometimes delaying or ignoring lower priority items. Because the things of this world not important, because we know it's finna soon be gone, right down the way. We can see what this war going on and everything else. We're at the end times, right? Hey, we got bigger fish to fry here, right? We're not worrying about these irrelevant things, man. We're worrying about the relevant thing. And it's what serving Yahweh, Bahasha, Yahweh Shah, doing what we have to do to get into the kingdom of heaven, right? That's what we prioritizing for, that greater reward, right? So let's get into the scriptures. All right, I got a couple of precepts that coming off the top of my head. And like I said, Lord willing, this to be short, edifying, and straight to the point, right? So this is the book of Matthew, the 19th chapter, and verse 29. And it reads, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life, right? So sometimes you have to forsake these things for the bigger picture, right? For the better outcome. Hey, your friends might call you, hey, we finna go so-and-so at 7 o'clock. You like, all right, I'll be there around 9:30, let me handle this business, right? Hey, you got to put off things to do the works first, and then you can go out and, we all got our little, things we do in the world, right? Whether that's your spouse, right? Your friends, family members, your children, whatever the case may be. But you got to always put the works first, man. That's the most important thing, right? Let's go to Matthew's. Stay in Matthew's, like the 13th chapter. Let's go all the way down to verse 44, right? And it reads that again, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and sell all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Right? You gotta understand that treasure that's hidden in the field, not everyone finds that treasure, right? So once you you get something of great value, which we have, that's not understanding the wisdom, you got to take advantage of that. You got to put your all into that. And that's what we do to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. You see that it says, and for joy thereof, go out and sell up all that he hath. That's what we go, and he said, buy that field. So that's what we have to do, right? Hey, we got to, hey, everything, hey, fuck that. You know, hey, you got to put your all into, the treasure. Ultimately, that's being what? The kingdom of heaven, right? Like it speaks about in Colossians. I'll grab it real quick. I was going to grab it after, but I'll go ahead and grab it through the Spirit. Colossians 3:2. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth, right? See, your mindset should be, hey, what you got to do to, better your position or your spot, right? Or to make your calling of the election sure, right? You got to be thinking about these things. Like, hey, man, should I go out here and go to this cookout? Or should I stay home, study, do a little lesson, right? And be to myself, right? And I know for me, right now, I'm on my 6th straight day, 10-hour shifts, right? And I do construction, and I got to work tomorrow. So they'll be making it 7 days, right? Of 10 hours, of working, right? So, it'd be times, even right now, I be tired, right? I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't get home till 5:30 in the afternoon. So they give me approximately, you shower, you eat. By this time, it's roughly 6:30, 6:15, 6:30, So that meaning I basically have 2 hours, 3 hours to myself, right? To have me time until it's time for me to, go back to bed for work again, right? Also, when I don't go to bed at 9:30, right? I still go to bed around 11, sometimes even 12, But, what I'm getting is that the time that I have to prioritize it to the most important things with that short period of time, right? So with that time, do lesson, reread or look over my notes, right? Watch lesson, things of that such, especially every morning on the way to work, right? I got a 40-minute drive to work. I turn on the lesson, right? That'd be the most peaceful time of my day, right? Is driving to work, because why? I'm listening to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah speaking through his prophets, right? Ultimately, the man of, GMS, you know. But like it says in Colossians 3:2, say, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So like, let me clear my throat. Get a little drink real quick. All right, Salakia. So, once again, Colossians 3:2 says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth, right? So, our mindset have to be the kingdom of heaven, right? Hey, Yahweh, Yahweh, the angels, right? Things that's going to lead us into the kingdom of heaven, man. Hey, to hell with this earth, man. I mean, not this earth, to this, kingdom, this, life age. Cause we know it's finna soon, be put to an end, right? So let's go back to Matthew the 13th chapter, and I just finish off this quick parable, verse 45. It reads again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast. Well, that, obviously great preachers as well, right? But I just stop at verse 46, right? Like it says, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it, right? That's what we have to do to the truth, right? We got to take advantage of this opportunity that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh gave us, right? And maximize it, right? By doing the correct things, the right things, right? So, let's go to 1 John 2 verse 15, right? And it reads, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, they love what the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. Point being right here, Verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Heavenly Father abideth forever, right? And that's our top priority, right? Is to do the will of the Heavenly Father, because ultimately that's what's going to lead us to that salvation. That's what's going to lead us into being part of that first dominion, part of that first group to get into the kingdom of heaven, right? Also, that's going to lead us to not being destroyed in that second death, which is what? The lake of fire, right? We're not trying to get destroyed. We're not trying to be in the midst of that destruction. We're not trying to be a part of that destruction, right? So therefore, we prioritizing our time and things that we do for to better our chances to get into the kingdom of heaven, right? And because I said that, let's grab this, 1 Corinthians 3:8, right? And it reads, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor, right? So you gonna have your own reward according to the works that you did, right? For the many years you've been in this truth, and for you enduring, your reward going to be great. Like it says in Matthew's 19th chapter, that you shall receive 100-fold, man. The things here, the nice houses, the nice cars, right? The big, tall, nice, beautiful buildings, people, however you want to put it, right? It's nothing compared to the kingdom of heaven, to what's to come, right? That's why I don't see how people be falling out of the truth, going back into the world, missing their old lifestyle and things of that such off of this shitty ass kingdom, man. Yeah, these things might look good, but you gotta think about the kingdom of heaven. Like every time I go into like Charlotte, Atlanta, I've been to New York one time. Right, when you go to these big cities, right, you see these big buildings and the lights thing, so you be thinking how beautiful it is, and then I be thinking like, but just imagine the kingdom of heaven, right? Especially when I'm with a brother, when I travel. Man, that's all we talk about, man, when we see these things. Cause we come from a small city. So when we see these things, we're like, just imagine the kingdom of heaven, how it's gonna look. Like, come on, man. Come on. I guess I'll finish it or end it off right here in Luke 6 and 23, right? And it reads, rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. All right, so when you prioritizing, irrelevant things, how are you going to be able to inherit the kingdom of heaven with that first dominion? Ultimately, you're going to, of course, you're an Israelite, so yes, you're going to get into the kingdom of heaven, but you got to be destroyed first. Your reward is going to be destruction before you can even get into the kingdom of heaven. Now, we don't want to go through that destruction. We're trying to get to the kingdom of heaven off Yahweh Bashim shall saving us when he make his return. Right? Like it says, rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets, right? So our reward is not here on this earth, it's in heaven, right? So therefore we gotta do the works that require us to get in that position, or to be, to get in that position, or to have our spot for that in heaven, right? It didn't say your reward is here on earth. Nah, it's great in heaven, man. That's why we prioritize our time and prioritize our energy to certain things, right? Pertaining to the spirit, right? And not carnally things, man. So with that being said, Lord willing, this was a quick and edifying lesson. Uh, hey, we may have to forsake our families, cause I know for myself, my parents, them, have to reach out to me before I reach out to them. Friends, family, hey, it's people that I haven't talked to months, years. Hey, the love's still there, but I, Amos 3:3, shall two walk together so they be agreed, right? If I have this goal, and you have a whole different goal, why I'm with you, right? Why I'm with you? I got to be with like-minded people, right? Ultimately, I like to be by myself, right? Because ultimately, that's what gives me peace when I'm alone, right? But I'm not going to make it long-winded. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Once again, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Until next time, Shalom.